In your own words, could you just, when you hear the word diabetes, what do you think of?
Fear, until you learn about it. You have to, deny yourself of some of the things that you eat. And that's about it. Often in your mind, you think about your sight and your feet and your legs and stuff. But
what's the fear?
You might lose a leg, you might lose your sight, you may have to go on the kidney machine.
Okay, so all of the complications that can come from it. Do you have diabetes?
Yes.
And how long have you had it?
Well, I was borderline 10 years, and I did pretty good. But my legs went to feeling bad and restless, so the doctor put me on medication. I've been on medication now about 5 years.
Okay. And how you doing?
I'm up and down. Sometimes I do good, sometimes I don't.
And have you kind of identified what it is that makes a difference?
Food.
What you eat?
What I eat. That makes a difference. If I eat right and exercise, my sugars stay in control, but if I don't eat things I shouldn't eat, it goes up. And sometimes I quit exercising. I just started back about a month ago. Like I say, I'm not a good candidate, but it often is. I think about it. I try to substitute my foods. If I eat something starchy, I try not to eat bread. If I eat rice, I try not to eat bread. And sometimes I talk to the dietitian. Like I say, I'm not a good candidate. Sometimes I mess up.
Well, that's human nature, you know. Or have you found that there's certain things that help you do better?
Well, when I walk, I just get on the treadmill and try to watch what I eat. Most of the time I try to stay away from starches.
If you're, got no company here, be careful, fly right in my mouth. If you're stressed.
When I get upset, everything goes up. The blood pressure, the sugar, I'm stressed out. Stress I believe, plays this part in running your sugar up and your high blood pressure.
Do you, how do you cope with the stress?
Well, I tries to calm down. I try not to stress out. Another time I pray. Try to focus on godly things, because I live with a brain injury, so that's stress every day sometimes. I have to just learn how to cope, with her and being a diabetic too. Sometimes I get stressed out. I tend to eat more. I have to watch myself.
That often happens when you
get stressed out about something. But like I said, I'm not a good candidate. I'm trying to work on it.
Well, no, I think you're probably more average than you realize. I think that most people that have diabetes find that it's kind of a struggle every day.
It is. It's in the back of your mind, And
can't leave
if you eat wrong, but still, it's in the back of your mind. I shouldn't have ate this. If you get food, well, I shouldn't have ate that much. It's just an everyday struggle, really.
It's interesting that people don't often, they talk about the eating and the exercise and things, but they don't always talk about the emotional problem that it is and having to think about it and deal with it.
Oh yeah, you think about it even though you do wrong. It's in the back of your mind, like I say, well, you shouldn't have ate that, or your eyesight, you get up, it seems like you go to seeing a little dim in the morning, you're in fear then, you're kind of scared that it's messing with your eyes.
Yeah. So, and it's 365 days a year. That in itself can be somewhat stressful, can't it?
Yeah.
Does your family help you manage your disease?
Well, my husband, he's a diabetic, and now he does good. He walks, but he loves starchy foods like rice. Now that's and bread. That's his intermittent. He loves rice and bread, but he can back up off like white potatoes. But he loves bread. He mostly try to eat wheat bread.
So do you encourage each other, or do you sort of?
He fuss at me all the time.
It doesn't?
Yeah.
So does he do a little bit better than you?
He's better than I am now. He walks every day. Gets up in the morning. Like I say, I've been walking now. I guess about a month. I get up and walk with him.
Does that make you feel better?
Yeah, I feel better. My legs feel better too.
Good. Takes just a little bit of push to make yourself do it, though, doesn't it?
It's a push too. But he's disabled, so he got plenty of time to walk. At least he became disabled this year.
And do you work full time?
I work full time.
Where do you work at?
I work up at Farmer Pack in DeKalb.
Okay. So, what do you think is the most important thing that you need to do to take care of yourself?
Quit eating everything that I shouldn't eat. Watch my diet.
So it's really about eating for you.
Eating. My problem is in the food.
Do you like to cook?
Sometimes. Sometimes I overdo it. Like mostly the biggest meal we cook is on the weekend. But we cook light through the week. And then sometimes he'll get up and cook stuff he shouldn't cook. I can do pretty good if he don't cook breakfast. I may eat like a bagel or something, but sometimes he'll get up and cook rice and bacon and eggs, and then it just be smelling good, and then I end up eating. But I try not to eat the bread with the rice. No toast.
Right.
Just eat the rice.
So it's always sort of trying to balance
Yeah,
things.
he loves rice. Just trying to balance my eating.
Do you think that there's ways that friends or neighbors can give you support? Maybe your coworkers, people you work with that see every day. Think there's things that they can do to help support you?
Not the ones I'm working with to try to help fill you up. But not many. I don't think I work with, but people my age are not diabetic yet. There's a couple older ladies out there. They are diabetic, but don't look like they're helping themselves.
How old are? Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'm 55.
Okay, so you're one of the younger ones where you work with diabetes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think there's things in the community that cause diabetes?
Not necessarily. I think my mother had it, so I think all 7 of us have diabetics. I think my brother Miller, I don't think he has to take medication. I don't know exactly what he do. Maybe he watches his diet, but I don't think he on the medication. But I think my youngest take all us diabetics. We take the pills.
So what happens when you get together for a big family reunion or family dinner?
We don't think about being no diabetic. I just want to tell the truth. We overdo it.
So it's not a topic that comes up when you have your family?
No, not no diabetic.
Yeah.
But really my mother her food, things start bothering her around 80 years. When she got 80 years old, she said she pretty much ate what she wanted to eat until she got 80. But she never ate a whole lot of nothing, but she did pretty good until she got 80. Then she really had to watch what she ate. But I don't dwell on that now. I try to do better.
So it sounds to me like you're very conscious about the fact of what you need to do.
But I need to do it, though.
You think that you have some children or grandchildren? One of the problems that we're seeing these days is that children are less active, and eating more and sometimes gaining quite a bit of weight while they're still young.
Yes.
Do you think there's things that we could do to prevent that?
Yes, I do. Because I be getting to my grandson. He pretty much lived with me about that weight, and I tell you, my this step granddaughter, I think she's already a diabetic. I think she was on like 1,000 grams of metformin a day, and I told her mother why she cutting back on them. On her, she need to let them walk and cut back on them too.
Mm-hmm.
Her little fingernails were blue,
Mm.
and I told her mother to start them to walking right along with her. So, but they don't live around me, but I try to encourage them to do better.
Why do you think that that the problem is happening with young people?
Well, most of them just eat potato chips and watch television and don't get much exercise. And they need a better exercising program, and maybe, well, really, it's the school not really that bad. It's just eating in the homes too,
Mm-hmm.
buying junk food for them.
How do we get parents to do different?
By educating them, if you could get them to a meeting and talk to them about it, maybe.
You think that they don't know, or you think they just...
They probably never think about it. My child is going to be a diabetic, or I'm going to be a diabetic. They just don't think about it.
Yeah. They're just fixing what looks good or buying what they think tastes
Buying
good.
it what they want.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. If you could tell if you could tell people in the community one thing about diabetes, what would be the most important thing you'd tell them?
I would tell them to start, their children, let them exercise more, just don't let them lay around and buy more fruits and stuff, which I had started doing in the later years. I didn't buy junk, I just buy like fruits for my kids. And now I buy fruits, I don't buy junk. Now my daughter, she's grown, like I said, she living in the house. She would buy my grandson junk, but I had stopped years ago just buying chips and cookies and stuff, for them to eat. I just buy fruits, which they gonna get it out, but I had stopped doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And are there, where you work, is there any policy or plan, emphasis on trying to be healthy?
Well, they passed out a flyer when the insurance company came once last year, but they never talk about healthy foods and stuff, not where I work.
So they don't do anything to help you stay fit or encourage you to, or how about tobacco policies? People smoke?
They have smoking areas for people to smoke.
And is smoking something that a lot of folks do here? Or?
I would say mostly the men folks, and the head of the companies probably be out there smoking, like the mechanics and different ones. But I imagine, well, probably maybe 15 or 20 workers, but it's not that many.
Mm-hmm.
The smoke's there.
And but you don't have any policy other than you have to go outside to smoke?
Oh, they had to have to smoke in a designated area. That's fine.
Yeah. If you were going to make changes in where you work so that things could be healthier, what kinds of things might you suggest?
Well, if we had a cafeteria, maybe with a salad bar or something, fruits, something healthy in the cafeteria, I would like that.
Do you have a cafeteria?
No, we just have vending machines.
Okay. And what's in the vending machines?
Candy, chips, nuts.
Nothing, no healthy
Nothing
choice.
healthy.
Yeah. And who do you work for?
Farmer Pack.
Farmer Peck?
Right up 16 Highway.
Okay, and what do you produce there?
We make products, generic products. Some of them be prescription, cosmetics, and
Is that right across from where the hospital is?
Yeah.
Okay, I know where you're talking. And how many employees are there?
Probably about 200.
Quite a few then, actually.
I'm agreeing with everybody, probably about 200 people.
Uh-huh. Okay. What do you think is the best way to make a change in the community, to help people be more healthy?
Well, if everybody got out and walked, and I noticed that on the television, a lot of the ministers are encouraging people to eat more healthy. I see it. Like Rob Posh, they was talking about it one day this week about how we eat, and he was just demonstrating it, how we eat. Maybe we have an exercise program going on in the community, and maybe we just had a diabetic awareness meeting or something.
Okay.
Do you think people would come?
We'll be here a little longer.
They probably would if you had it like at your church or something. Add on at the end of your church service.
Mm-hmm.
But
You think that would be the best way to?
it might would help.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to get people to come to extra meetings sometimes, but maybe at church would be a good way to do that.
I guess it's just that hadn't dawned on people how important it is, to eat right, and they probably hadn't just thought about diabetics.
So you work at a company that produces health products. At least some.
Yeah.
Do the people you work with talk about health?
No. I believe we do some diabetic foot cream. We do that diabetic nail, come to think of it, that you put on your nails, keep them from turning yellow.
Uh-huh.
We do that too.
But
Then
y'all
talk
don't.
about no diabetic at work.
and people just generally aren't thinking about being health conscious or.
No, I never had nobody. I guess we got so many laws there until people don't really have time to think of nothing like that.
Well, you're probably busy and don't have a lot of extra time, except maybe on breaks or something.
That's right. Mostly they're trying to grab something out the machine and get back to work.
Do people carry lunch with them? Do they bring lunch in?
Sometimes I do.
But a lot of people just eat something out of the machine?
Most of the time they go out to the fast food places.
Okay.
Piggly Wiggly, they have a full meal. And sometimes they go up to the hospital.
Okay, so you can actually leave.
Work on
your lunch
go
hour.
Get your lunch.
Okay. A lot of places wouldn't let you do that, so.
But you have to clock out. Clock out.
Okay. And I think that's pretty much all the questions I had.
Okay.
But is there anything I didn't ask you about, or anything you're thinking about that you want to add?
I'm trying to think. Right now, I don't have any questions. I know what to do, but I just don't do it. I'm just gonna have to try to do better. At least I start back to walking.
That's good. Do you have a cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if you got a message on your cell phone every day to remind you, that would be helpful? Or?
Well, I don't know. I can't say.
So some people are thinking, if you send messages to people.
But I think about it every day, what it can cause.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
Well, we want the best for you. And I'd like to invite you to come and get active and participate in the Diabetes Coalition here that your brother is actually working with. It would be a good place for you to get some support and share with others in some activities.
I've been thinking, I said I was going to start coming. I've been thinking about it.
I think it'd be a good step. Sometimes having some other people that have similar kinds of concerns to you have a chance to actually talk to each other. I work with some other groups where people find when they get together, they're really helping themselves, you know, as well as helping other people. And that's a good thing.
But I've been thinking about it. I'll probably start coming to the meetings.
Well, we sure hope we will.
I'm trying to bring somebody with me.
That's even better.
I can get my sister to start coming too.
That'd be great. You know, I mean, I think that getting more people involved will help, and I think it will help you as well. Which sounds like that's the best thing right now that you need is just someone to kind of be there and that
Coach
you can
me along.
coach, and you can coach them too. It works both ways, doesn't it? Huh?
You're right.
All right, then I think we're finished.